How did the party of Lincoln end up expelling two black Democratic representatives in Tennessee? Especially when under the radical Republicans and Reconstruction, we saw our first black representation. Remember, we talked about the radical Republicans last summer, but, well, I was shadow banned. But I digress. Now, most people attribute the change in Republican theology to the Southern strategy under Nixon. Again, we talked about that last summer. But it actually goes back further than that. So far, I've traced it all the way back to the Lily White Party under the Republicans. Now, it was the radical Republicans. They took over Reconstruction from Andrew Johnson, who was absolutely useless. Useless. I mean, I'm biased because he really did side with the former Confederate South. Yeah, he did. So the radical Republicans took Reconstruction over. They got the 14th Amendment passed that made formerly enslaved black people citizens, and the 15th Amendment passed. Black men can now vote, okay? Now, there was a faction of the Republican Party called the Lily White Party. Now, just by that name alone, would you guess that they were maybe, possibly, an anti-black movement? You would be correct. The Lily White movement was made up of Southern white Republicans, and it grew in response to the political and socioeconomic gains made by black people following the Civil War and the ratifications of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. Yes. Now, it was okay that black people were free. They just didn't want black people to be citizens, equal, or voting. The Lily White movement believed that the Republican Party was not nearly as concerned with the needs and the concerns of the Southern whites as they should have been. They felt that, the Republican Party should be more concerned with the poor white men in the South who, committed treason. Yeah. Moreover, they thought that if the Republican Party was going to become a national party, they needed to court the white Southern men to break the Democratic Party's hold over the South. So, if you are aligned with former slaves, the black people, you could not possibly woo Southern white racist men. Yeah. Now, this, of course, would begin a decades-long attempt of politicians wooing what would be known as the Southern Bloc. The Lily White Republicans appealed to racism to establish their party as a viable alternative for Southern Democrats. As a result, black people increasingly lost influence and power in the Republican Party. And it was around this time that we started to see whites-only primaries, especially in Texas. The Southern Democratic leadership greatly discouraged black membership, and many black people felt that they had no political party in which to participate. Rejected by the Republicans, many black people started turning to the Democrats as the only viable options, and while considering that at the time the Democrats were the party of slavery, the Republicans must have truly been showing their asses for Black people to turn to the Democrats.